Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Heyo and welcome today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel. And we're going to be talking to you about drawing chameleons, and I'm going to be drawing chameleons as I go and yeah, discussing bits and pieces here and there. So, you know, I haven't had much preparing from this, unfortunately. Apart from the fact, you know, that one of my first ever kind of full color illustrations I did in color pencil, and that's going back quite a few years now. You know, first kind of full color render um, of something that I did was a chameleon drawing. It's out there somewhere. It would be like one of my first kind of good pieces, I'd say. You know, yeah, that I started on, and yeah, they're kind of fun to draw and create and things like that. So I do, they do have a lot of character and personality to them. So that's why I chose, you know, I wanted to do something lizardy. I was, you know, this week I was thinking about doing a dragon, but, you know, I decided in the end, I need a little bit more warm up, for a dragon, per se, and it might not be so good to kind of do something more imaginative. For these streams, I do enjoy doing imaginative stuff and it'll be fun. So it's definitely on the agenda. But for now, I just want to do a little bit more of these streams to get a little bit more used to it before I go full force into doing something like that. For now, because it's a little bit different to me just kind of painting and streaming and recording my process and then putting it up on stream. It's a little bit different to that because with that, you know, I can just paint when I feel like it. I record what I need as well. I don't record everything I paint. And yeah, you know, if there's some of the process that I don't particularly like, if you know, if I'm still working something out or trying to figure things out with some of the painting, um, some of the creating of it, sometimes I don't record that because there'll be just like too much time of me just playing around, and sometimes I try things and those things don't work out all the time. Sometimes they do, um, and like, you know, all those process layers. I've talked about in many videos how I do this, and yeah, just show a bit of my process of how to do that. I usually, you know, if I do keep it, I show you like turn it on and off a layer and show you that way through my process. If you can see what I do in some of my videos, if you pay like kind of attention to it, to those kind of things, like what I do and how I get things done. My process could be different to yours and everything like that, but it's always handy to see other people's process and how they paint and draw and create and those things. Yeah, today I'm just doodling, well, not doodling, I'm drawing what I see. That's kind of what I'm doing at the moment with these. I do this like once a month or something like that, around about that period of time. It just gives me a little bit of break sometimes. You know, I've been every 3 weeks or something like that for a couple of times. It depends on how things go. At the moment, I do need a little bit of a gap week because next week I'll be doing another stream with one of my pages that I'm still working on and needing to get finished by kind of. I really want to get finished by the end of this week. Coming up, we'll see how we go though. Depends on how much I get done in the next few days. didn't warm up before or anything like that, and just straight going into drawing. So yeah, if I do make a little bit of mistakes, that's how it is, and that's with most of my streams that I do with these. I don't really have time to kind of warm up. Sometimes I do. I might be working on some of the paintings or drawing other stuff before I actually do the stream. Sometimes I don't get time to do that. I'm kind of finding my reference, putting my reference together, and things like that. So I don't always get time to kind of warm up and get a little bit comfortable with getting into it. But sometimes it's good just to, get started, get into it, and when you get really into it, you can't stop. And I think that's what we kind of need to get into, finding solutions to get past that kind of period of actually starting a piece and creating it and drawing. Just kind of sitting there and drawing and getting it done, getting stuff done. Sometimes you might need to do something different, like for instance, just drawing something random. Just something like what I'm doing now, drawing a chameleon. I'm just drawing from reference, kind of a thing. Maybe before you even start any of your work or anything like that, just draw something from reference, something you see in your room, anything really. Just draw something. So move this to the right here. Sorry, yeah, right. Move this over and just, yeah. Right, I want to dial this back a little bit more so I vaguely see it. This goes a bit further, meaning this here should sit about there. Alright, and also, I mean, the warm-up's here, which is good to do a little bit of a warm-up. But even if you do a warm-up, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna always make, once you've warmed up, it's not gonna make each drawing you do the best drawing. Sometimes we have the bad days and those things, and it's just learning to, try and do the best you can with what time you've got, and it's happened to me. I've had a drawing that I did the other day for weekly tips for the weekly drawings that I do. I do 4 drawings a day, and with those 4 drawings, I have words that I base them around. And yeah, with this day, it was like Thursday, that I was doing it, and I was about like half an hour into the lunch, because you have an hour lunch to draw and do that weekly drawing thing that I do. So I was going about it. I had like half an hour left, and I kind of almost kind of finished a drawing, and I started to do that drawing again in my page, because my process is that I draw on a blank piece of paper, just a random piece of paper that I've got in my book. I put random piece of paper in my book, and then I take that random piece of paper drawing, and then I draw it in my book. Now what happened with this is that I was starting to run out of time while I was drawing it. I was getting closer to 15 minutes left. So I started drawing it in my book, and I was just kind of not liking the way it was turning out. it was, yeah, transforming the character a bit more, but it wasn't capturing the essence that I had in my first drawing. Um, which, it happens to all of us. Um, those things that you kind of, yeah, can't kind of draw it. We can draw it twice, but it's just, yeah, a matter of time. I could have drawn it again, um, better. But that would have taken a little bit more time to process. I only have so much time, so the decision I had to make in the end is to just use that drawing on the blank piece of paper, pin it up, and make it look nice and everything like that, and then glue it into my book. It's That's the decision I made in the end. Um, and accept that there are some daily drawings I've done in the past in the past in the past that that I have I have drawn, and then once I've drawn it once in this scrap piece, I try and achieve it again in the actual book, and it doesn't turn out the same. There are differences that unfortunately I don't like. And that happens, every now and again, and sometimes it's a reverse effect, which is enjoyable. The reverse effect, you draw it once, and then you draw it the next time, and it's way better than the first one. Or and the third one, it's the same. It's pretty much the same. There might be you know, some really minor tweaks that are better or worse, but it's pretty much the same. Um, and I do like those moments too. It's pretty much the same drawing as I had. Um, but it's good to draw it again and get a better drawing as well. Um, but yeah, when it's the opposite, you draw it and it just gets not as good. The essence or something is missing. Um, yeah, it's hard to start again. Sometimes you have to start again, but with those time restraints that I have, I couldn't start again for that, unfortunately. Um, and that's what sucks. But that happens, even in if you're doing work for others and things like that, trying to get time when you got time restraints. Um, you do have to kind of um, either live with those mistakes or find a way to solutions at work, just as well, you know. For instance, with one of my books I was doing, um, with one of the pages I was working on, there was, a page where I don't feel like I captured the character right. Didn't look like he was actually waking up or something like that. I can't remember what page. I think it was. Yeah, when he wasn't. Didn't feel like he was actually smelling the scent. Um, and I redrew it in a book. Was I kind of finished the painting. I was gonna call it kind of finished, but I wasn't kind of happy with the character, so I ended up going back to kind of the drawing board and drawing it in my sketchbook again and using that to finish it off and redo the character. Um, and in the end, it did possibly, might have cost me a little bit of time, but it was worth it in the end. Those things happen, and it actually saved me time, really. Getting frustrated with the piece and this illustration, just taking a little bit of time out and drawing it somewhere else, or um, with a different kind of mindset, it did help. So that opacity to size it down. Yep. And that, oh, see this in all these proportions. It's always challenging in kind of these proportions wrong, and then trying to fix them up a little bit is always challenging. Usually what I do is I will, rather than kind of erase it or anything like that, I either paint over it on the same layer or something and try that, or kind of clean it up. When I kind of clean it up, I then do take that line I was going with in the end and working with that. Now, I'm not going for picture perfect here. If I was, you know, it would take many more attempts at drawing this. You know, probably end up like painting it and then being like, oh, you know, that's totally off now. Totally restart it, you know. But yeah, I think that'd be the first one I draw that I have drawn, and we'll go to another one. Quite possibly that one there. Right. Yeah, I have a lot of reference here, just to have some fun with, decide what drawing I actually want to do. Having a few options there is always fun, for me, having a few options in front of me to use and draw. It kind of opens it up a little bit more. I don't feel so restrained to just draw one thing. You know, just drawing one thing all the time is not exactly, you know, the best in the world. It is, you know, it is fun, but not drawing the same thing over and over again. That can be feel a bit repetitive sometimes. It's great to do and everything like that, but it's always great to have, you know, multiple things to draw throughout your day, and yeah, and a bit of variety in there. It's always great to have. Yeah, so I notice here on my Twitch I'm slowly growing, which is interesting, which is cool as well. I really do enjoy that, seeing that grow. I also have kind of my YouTube channel, and that is growing slowly too. I feel like though my Twitch is growing more than my YouTube, which is funny. I'm not doing much about my Twitch apart from I do the Tuesday streams that I do. I also do these videos. I do them on Twitch and they go onto YouTube afterwards. Apart from that, you know, don't do a lot per se on my Twitch. I usually did a 20-minute stream last Tuesday, so it depends how I feel, how things are going. you know, how busy I am, how late in the night it is, and those kinds of things of how long I'm going to stream for. I do aim for about 45-minute stream, 40-ish minute stream. Um, However, I think on average it's probably more likely to be about 20 minutes per se. On average. I have gone for 50 minutes once. For a Tuesday stream, that's pretty long. So yeah, it's just me streaming and chatting while I'm painting really. Um, the other thing too is I can choose what I want to capture, whether I want to capture the whole image or part of the image. Yeah, it all depends on time too, how much time I have and things like that. How much of the canvas I've got. How big the image is too, you know. Going as I can really size this down. Really size this down. Well, this is good to do to kind of size it down, but it does, you know, it does put off proportion sometimes, things like that. So, yeah. Because you're going from kind of drawing in one kind of scale, and then you're going down to drawing into a different kind of scale. Yeah. I've had quite a play around with scale. Um, since I've been, you know, illustrating, you know, I've done big kind of large pieces. I mean, as large as kind of A3, but bigger than that. I was gonna do like an A2 painting at one stage, and I do have A2 paper if I ever want to do an A2 drawing, um, but I do find that challenging to do as well because there's so much paper there, and you know, trying to get it all um, looking cool. And I remember, you know, as a kid, I'd draw like this dragon and be like really big on an A4 paper, like just the head, so I'd continue it by adding more paper onto it, you know, and it'd be like this extended dragon drawing. Done that before. So yeah, this one here I'm trying to draw. Really drop his opacity down, like vaguely there. Just so I have the kind of silhouette of the character there per se. That's what I want there. So that's only like 4%. Zoom in a little bit on a new layer, and then Might have to start again. And it kind of gives me like a scale reference per se. That's what I'm looking for here. You know, how big to make things so they kind of still fit on the page. But I can go a little bit big to fit this whole thing on the page. I think that's just something I'd like to do a little bit more to try and to learn to kind of scale things right, fit things on pages all good without running into too many troubles here and there. This eye should be about that size. It's probably going to be too big for this canvas. Yeah. Yeah, so feel free to check out all my other YouTube videos that I have. I have quite a few there. I have some of these streams that I do with I've drawn um, elephants stream, drawing stream. What other ones have I had? I think we had a crocodile as well. Quite a few animals that I've been drawing lately. And the idea for this is, you know, a drawing at the moment. I'll be because I'm thinking about dragons. So you know, the idea at the moment is to do a few animals that I want to kind of base my dragons off from. So lizards, I was thinking possibly chameleon, kind of a lizard, kind of scaly, kind of skin, that kind of thing. So just trying to get some familiarity with these kind of animals a little bit. It's always a bonus to do that, to get familiar with kind of your subject matters that you are working with. And it's an ongoing thing, you know, you're going to work with different subject matters, different lighting situations. And I could also go into different elements too. I could, you know, just draw the head or just draw the tail, you know, different elements of drawing this animal. And I think I do that in when I, you know, draw it multiple times. You know, when I draw it once, I'm trying to figure it all out, trying to figure out kind of the pose, the structure, where things go, the scaling, um, yeah, everything I'm trying to work out. And then, you know, with the next drawing, I can really break it up into, oh, the head's not right, um, in terms of, the size of the tail's not, too big or too long, and we can go through and slowly just kind of edit those things and then slowly change them as we keep drawing over and over again. And what's good with digital is that, yeah, you can keep elements that are right. So say you get the head right, spot on or something, you can get that right and keep that. Then some of the other elements might not be right. Just start off the head again and then continue again with drawing something else. Well, the rest of it again, and trying to get those pieces right. And then you have two things that are right. Save those two things, and then the whole process goes from there. And the idea is to get all 5 out of 5 right, or something like that. And that's kind of that can be helpful with digital painting. With traditional, you kind of have to get all them at once. You can, repeatedly draw it over and over again, but you have to hit, all 5 of those landmarks correct, kind of one time around. Can't be you hit it once there, okay, save that. You can, use kind of, you could use like, Lightbox and those things to transfer it to another piece of paper and then continue drawing with that. You could do that, but it's easier to start again. Same with digital though, that with digital you can do that too. You can be like start again and keep drawing, get better, which is great to do that. Alright, we got another 10 minutes here. I think the last drawing I'm going to do is this one here. Make it nice and big for you guys. You can probably find this image online as well. It's a nice kind of close-up shot. I'm not like this. It feels like it could be fake. Like I haven't had enough time to kind of do all my research here into whether this is a real photo or what's going on. What's the story with it? If it is a 3D render of a animal, as far as I know, it looks real. It just does seem a bit off to have, I don't know if they do have eyes like that, chameleons. So it does have a little bit of kind of a 3D feel to it, to me. It does. I have not researched into the legitimacy of this image. It'd be real helpful to do, obviously, to do your research and that kind of thing. But it can be not so important if it's accurate as well. But like I say, like drawing, a flower, a certain type of flower, give instance a thistle or something. This photo says it's purple, this photo says it's red, something like that. A thistle's red. However, a thistle is actually, purple. But your image says it's red, and most people can tell a thistle by its color usually. That kind of Irish thistle. they can see it's usually purple, and that's how we kind of tell and that whole look. But you draw it red because of your photo say so. So yeah, doing your research and that kind of thing, making sure that your everything's right, proportions or your colors or your bone structure, could be anything. But if you get it wrong and you're saying, "Oh, the image said so," um, you know. However, it gives you your observation skills, and it's a thing as well. Just take those observational skills you learned. Um, you've drawn it wrong once, but now you've found the right evidence. You can draw it right for real this time. Kind of a thing. um, yeah, I do appreciate anyone that does come into my Twitch. It does. It's awesome to see people come in, just random people come and follow me, um, for no reason, really. I haven't done a stream since Tuesday or something like that. I think I think I got a follower like couple yesterday or something. It's weird like that, but it's cool to see. That kind of thing happen. Okay, so this actually fits to the left a bit more. Using um, other limbs or things, objects that are surrounding a certain image can really put things into perspective. Trying to get everything in the right place can be a challenge at first. But once you fully figure out what's going on, yeah, you can get it done. And that's the main thing, is just keep on going. I know that I probably failed this drawing so far, but I just came into it, and this is like the first pass. Well, I need to absolutely kind of scrap that to the back, just to give proportions, really. Could even turn that off and start again. I've kind of got my bad kind of drawing out that. Using a bit of line to kind of help me here as I go. Which is always helpful to do, to kind of keep that going. So that would be like that size. That's where mouse would be. Then this. Yeah. If I go quiet, it's because I'm focusing and trying to suss this all out. Awesome. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Unfortunately, yeah, I didn't get around to actually kind of finishing this one here. But we had our first pass at it. And this is the start of our second pass. It is, yeah, still kind of in the process of being done. It'll probably stay that way. Some of my droids do. I may, because I save these files, so if I do feel the urge, I've got these files there, I can continue drawing them, and you know that all the references are with me. I can continue drawing them and things like that, so I can kind of save these. Yeah, continue drawing them later on. You know, it's great to just draw from reference sometimes. It's good to build up your visual library, keep you drawing and keep you creating, and help you learn a bit of anatomy at the same time and things like that. So yeah, it's been great today. Feel free to go check out my other YouTube videos. Comment below if you do like chameleons, if you think they're fun, anything like that. If you like drawing them, if you had drawn them before, that's my second drawing that I did here. So we drew this one today, that one, and that one, that one, and that one. So those are the three drawings that I've done in this stream, and it has taken a bit of time to get to this point. Probably 10-15 minutes for each drawing. I'd like to spend a bit more drawing time on some of these drawings at some point. Maybe I could just do one drawing, refining my drawings at one point, maybe making a full painting or drawing out of it. Yeah, and probably the other thing I did do today is I actually did white. Usually I paint with grey and grey, which is good to do as well. So it's not so daunting as a white piece of paper, but I did what I did. I drew that. Hopefully you did enjoy the stream. You did draw with me, you did create with me. Feel free to share this video, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.